Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Yusuf Cahyo and welcome to my presentation. For this English project, I will be talking about computers. We all use them, but do we know how they work? In the next few minutes, we will explore the basic definition of a computer, what it can do. We will then look at the key hardware parts like the CPU, which is called the brain of the computer, and the hard drive for storage. After that, we will talk about the main software, manage everything. The operating system, including examples like Windows and Mac OS. Okay, so let's start with the basics. What is a computer? A computer is an electronic device for manipulating information or data. It has the ability to store, retrieve, and process that data. We already know we can use it for many things like typing documents, sending email, playing games, browsing the web, or even creating spreadsheets, presentation, and video. Okay, now what are different types of the computers? There are many types of computers, but today we will look at the common ones first, the desktop computers and laptop computers. The desktop computers, many people use this at work, home, or school. They are designed to be placed on a desk and are made up of the different parts, like the computer case, monitor, keyboard, and mouse. The second type is laptop computers. Laptop computers are battery powered, which makes them portable, allowing us to use them almost anywhere. Now let's look at what's inside a computer case. This is where the main components are. The most important piece is the motherboard. This is the computer's main circuit board. It's a thin plate that holds the CPU, memory connectors for the hard drive, and connection to your ports like USB ports. The motherboard connects directly or indirectly to every part of the computer. Next, we have the CPU, or Central Processing Unit. This is often called the brain of the computer, and its job is to carry out commands. Whenever you press a key or click the mouse, you are sending instruction to the CPU. A processor speed is measured in megahertz or gigahertz. A faster processor can execute instruction more quickly. Then we have RAM, or random access memory. RAM is your system's short-term memory. When your computer performs calculation, it temporarily stores the data. In the RAM, this short-term memory will display. This short-term memory disappears when the computer is turned off. This is why you must save your work. When you save a file, the data is written to the hard drive, which is the long-term storage. The more RAM you have, the more things your computer can do at the same time. This brings us to the hard drive. The hard drive is where your software documents and other files are stored. This is long-term storage, meaning the data is still safe even if you turn the computer off. When you run a program, the computer copies data from the hard drive to the RAM, or random access memory. When you save, the data is copied back to the hard drive. Finally, for the hardware, we have the PSU, or power supply unit. Finally, for the hardware, we have the PSU, or power supply unit. Its job is to convert the power from the wall outlet to the type of power needed by the computer. It sends power to the motherboard and other components. A quick safety note: if you ever open a computer case, make sure to unplug it first and touch a grounded metal object to discharge static electricity. Static can seriously damage your machine. Okay, we have talked about the hardware, which is the physical part. Now let's talk about the software, specifically the operating system. So what is an operating system, or OS? What is an operating system, or OS? An OS is the most important software that runs on a computer. It manages all the computer's memory, processes, software, and hardware. It allows you to communicate with the computer without knowing how to speak the computer's language. Basically, without an OS, computer is useless. The operating system jobs or the OS job is to manage everything. Often we have many programs running at the same time, and they all need to access the CPU, memory, and storage. The operating system coordinates all of this to make sure each program gets what it needs. Modern operating system use GUI or graphic user interface. A GUI lets you use your mouse to click icons, buttons, and menus, making the computer easy to use. Okay, we got types of operating systems. There are many operating systems, but the three most common ones for personal computers are Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Microsoft Windows is the most popular OS in the world. It was created in the mid-1980s and comes preloaded on most new PCs. And to macOS is the operating system created by Apple. It comes preloaded on all Macintosh computers or Macs. And Linux is a family of open source operating systems. Open source means it can be modified by anyone around the world. The main advantage is that Linux is free, and there are many different versions to choose from. Alright, that brings us to the end of the presentation. To summarize, today we have learned a computer is an electronic device that processes and stores data. The main hardware components inside it include the motherboard, the CPU, or the brain, RAM, short-term memory, and the hard drive, long-term storage. And finally, the operating system is the most important software that manages all the hardware and software, allowing us to use the computer. Okay, that is all for my presentation. Thank you so much for your time and attention. That is all for me, and see you next time. Thank you.